I relied on him. I was with the living Buddha in his furnace. In the big tent, I stayed inside for 3 days and nights. I thought about it seriously. It took the master 3 years to teach me as a student. 12 years of teachings. Let me recall and sort them out again. I'm even more grateful to him now, feeling more grounded. So, in the end, it's all about purity. Old Li Bin has only made a bit of progress after 10 years. There are just so many old folks in there. Why not succeed without a foundation? Set my base after 3 years. I'm practicing Buddhism. Buddha, the Dharma, 2 teachers. Explaining the Dharma, Yegalas, is very straightforward. I have the attitude of being a student, following the teachings of other faiths. Not going against the teacher's teachings, following his guidance and techniques for noble truths, eightfold path, teach. We teach share scriptures. We must definitely support the teacher here. Hey, we are always here at the same. The teacher taught us that without strong protectors, we can't succeed, you know. The Korean nurse has been at it for 30 years. We've hung his picture on the opposite wall. He got involved in the mud pit, and he saw it all. His spirit is truly present in our big factory, in our driving. All the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas are here. What kind of mindset should we have when we learn? Let people carry it. We can know. You decide what to achieve. With divine help, success is certain. The hand has a keen eye. Not an ordinary person. You see, the last time that Korean monk came here, he saw the statue of Guanyin Bodhisattva and was really impressed. He entrusted the work of the Dharma protector to layman Limo Yuan. The first principle is to not let others down. It was the first time layman Li came to this Taipei library. During the visit, he gifted him a set of Western wall gods. Social security. I handed it over to him, and I gave him Tripitaka, Dharma treasures entrusted to him. We came to say that the Sangha treasures need to be handed over to him. He has to take duty protecting Dharma. That's why we have such a special connection. We are in this era. Great disasters and calamities. How easy it is to hold the flower adornment sutra in this place. No one knows how much good fortune opening this part. What great roots of goodness! If the roots of goodness and the conditions aren't fully present, then it definitely won't be able to manifest. So this ability to manifest can be established here. It's the protection and mindfulness of all the Buddhas and Tathagatas, the protection of the dragon and heavenly beings. We are very clear and understand it well. So we can't forget the kindness of our parents. Yeah. We can't forget the kindness of the director. Yeah. Buddhism teaches us to repay the four great kindnesses. These four great roots come from our parents. Director, the three treasures are within the director. The three jewels are teachers. Nation's kindness. All beings. Crossing the river protects us and allows us to live and work in peace. All beings, we can't live independently away from society and the masses. Our food and clothing. It all relies on many people who farm and produce. I often think about it. How do we repay kindness? By studying hard. Cutting off roots of suffering unlocks wisdom. Becoming a Buddha, becoming a Bodhisattva, like Kitagaba Bodhisattva. This is how we truly repay the four great kindnesses and alleviate the three types of suffering. Kitagaba sets the best example for us. We need to learn. Kitagaba studies Buddhism. Just like. You can see in what he says below. No division of self. Transforming into countless worlds. As numerous as the sands of the Ganges. Each world has countless flowers. And each life has countless beings. Return to three jewels. Understanding the path to nirvana. The Buddha helps to guide all beings, thus the transformation of self. This is how liberation is achieved. It's a performance by Kitagaba Bodhisattva. That's great. He's truly a good student of the Buddha. He's just like the Buddha. Transforming oneself, crossing over worlds. Diligently and tirelessly. Liberating countless beings. These three sentences talk about his efforts in guiding beings towards success. The first thing is to definitely help beings. Take refuge in the three jewels. Three jewels of Jin-Yang. The first stage, to guide a vast number of beings. Taking refuge in the three jewels doesn't mean you can chat about life and death and escape all suffering. Everyone is clear about this fact. Well, who really changes? But they still have their odd habits. I'm not keen on practicing. The first stage, when the karmic obstacles are heavy. He hasn't seen life and death matter and thinks the six realms cycle is okay. Write the six realms of reincarnation. The person with the power to update. The plan understands it. The six realms stone cave. The suffering in these three realms are suffering is tough. Asceticism hurts. He knows suffering in three realms. Make up your mind. He wants to escape the sea of suffering. Well, that's the three things sorted. To be forever free from life and death. There are two types of life and death within life and death. Not many people know about this. One type is called segmented life and death. What about our life? The other type is transformed life and death, and not many people know about it. To break free from existence and transcend the 6 realms of reincarnation, that's what Arhat and Pratyekabuddha have achieved. Transformative life can be quite hard. All the way up to the stage called the Equal Enlightenment Bodhisattva, transformative life is pointless. Graduation ends Earth. GAT, varied outcomes in language teaching. Ham, the Earth Store Bodhisattva, helps you all the way through, right? Isn't it just helping you through one stage? You won't lose your determination halfway through. Always helping all the way through. Today we are here to read the Earth Store Bodhisattva's Fundamental Vows Sutra, as we have a connection with the Earth Store Bodhisattva. There's a hidden meaning in this. What's hidden meaning? It teaches us set our intentions learned from Earth Store Bodhisattva. We aim for the Earth Store Bodhisattva. The Brahmin woman, Guanhui, is a great role model for us. If we read this sutra and feel moved by it, truly we also make this vow. We gather here with reverence. Save and support all suffering beings. If sentient beings don't become Buddhas, I won't become a Buddha. You are the Earth Store Bodhisattva right now. Earth Store Bodhisattva, the Great Cloud Eye. You're making this great vow. You must go against all the Buddhas. All the Bodhisattvas respectfully surround us. We need to learn here. To reach nirvana is to be free from suffering and attain happiness. Gaining profit from life and death is about helping sentient beings relieve their suffering, and in the end, it's about achieving liberation. The path to ultimate perfection and purity begins with nirvana. Begin next part. In Buddhist teachings, all acts of kindness matter. Each drop counts, and every small harm can lead to significant consequences, or the slightest action can lead to a great loss of strength. That is why the ancients often advised us, don't dismiss small acts of kindness. Oh, why should I bother with such a small act of kindness? Thinking is off. Avoid any evil. Don't think that a small evil is okay to commit. So, this mistake doesn't really matter, does it? What's the big deal? Can we do it? That's wrong, mate. It's important to understand this. Every little bit of goodness. It pervades vastness of the Dharma realm. Now let's turn it around. Even the tiniest things can permeate the vastness of the Dharma realm. Don't even mention other forms of retribution. Deciding on Zhong Aini's insights. Now the troubles start. You can't see your nature. Buddhas bless even small goodness. Even the tiniest bit of goodness can touch him. He comes to bless you From this, we can understand goodness. You can't neglect to cultivate it. Evil must not be allowed to persist. Today, this moment. That's for Mount Huashan. What I'm talking about now are the Bodhisattva, Kitagaba's sacred ground. But our videotape circulating all across the world. The number of people participating in our gathering. Incredible. What we can see with our eyes. These people can't be seen with the naked eye. Among the Bodhisattvas, listeners, enlightenment, 6 realms to divine, can't see it naked. Here's something even more extraordinary than what we see in this scripture. Release everything. All the Buddhas and Tathagatas are participating. Is our gathering as extraordinary as the heavenly assembly? When it comes to traditional Chinese medicine, we humans see that we don't have much merit, right? This little lecture hall is so small. So it's this simple. The heavenly beings see this sacred ground of 7 treasures. This is the seat of the 4 suns. It's majestic. This is the seat of the 4 suns. Isn't it incredibly majestic? The mind follows the heart. So it's only after we thoroughly understand these principles and the truth of the matter, like what was said yesterday in the Avatamsaka Sutra, we only then understand what true self-love and self-respect really are. Only those who are lost in self-doubt ruin themselves. Self-disrespect leads to self-destruction. From this point, we also understand. Understanding is really important. This explanation helps you break through and awaken. Things will flourish after the material. That's where the practice really pays off. It's good. It's quite obvious. This line of scripture is one to remember. Only discern, O world-honored one. Avoid concerns of future lives and others. Thus spoke the 300 Buddhas. May all beings not be troubled by the possessions of sentient beings in future lives. Buddha, take a look. The devil Ksitigaba, Bodhisattva comforted him. The mission of liberating all beings. Leave it to him. Ksitigaba Bodhisattva will not let the Buddha down. In this place, we say, he also comforts the Buddha, asking him not to hesitate or worry. Whatever he's been entrusted with, he'll definitely get it done. With seriousness and sincerity, follow the teachings without fail. Such seriousness and sincerity. It's all about following the teachings without fail. The Buddha praises Ksitigaba Bodhisattva saying, well done, well done. Success without attachment brings enlightenment. Liberating suffering is challenging for the Bodhisattva, praised by the Buddha. To widely liberate ease suffering, true enlightenment. It's tough for the Bodhisattva, and the Buddha also praises the Bodhisattva. Now we have two sadhanas. Sadhana is, what we're saying now is really good, really good. Come, he understands the meaning behind this. The Buddha's intention. It's about following the teachings. Remember this. Follow the Buddha's teachings. This is well done indeed. And can also, dividing into countless forms, teaching and transforming all beings that are tough to change. Sentient beings. Even though one practices the great teachings well, even the tiniest bit of merit, the Bodhisattva sees freeing sentient beings. Even the tiniest good deed can move all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. We don't even recognize the small good deeds, let alone the big ones. You need to understand this. You fixed it up yourself. There's a saying in Buddhism, one child becomes a Buddha and 9 ancestors ascend to heaven. This is true, not false. What about your ancestors? They've passed on, many can still be reborn from the lower realms. It's like what was said on the third day. As children, we earnestly work on our own cultivation. All the family members in this story benefit greatly. If we want to help our resentful relatives and debtors, we really need to put in the hard yards and study seriously. Only you can achieve real success. Only then can you help the resentful relatives and debtors from past generations. You really need to have genuine shame, or it just won't do. Well, that's false, not true. Giving is pure giving. The greatest blessing. If giving is done with the intention of seeking benefits, then the blessings will be small, little. Bodhisattvas are also happy when you mention even the tiniest good deeds. They just can't let go of them, right? We often see this, don't we? The small good deeds still don't recognize the great good of pure giving. So about these things. When it comes to the matters of cause and effect, we just need to pay a bit of attention. Take a look around. In this society, there are many. You can see it everywhere, mate. It's just that we've been a bit too careless ourselves. Especially in this day and age. Good causes lead to good results, while bad causes lead to bad outcomes. It's very, very obvious. It completely aligns with what's mentioned in the Kitagaba Sutra. Not a bit of. We should really read this sutra thoroughly. Life and death, we should practice according to the teachings. Only then can we gain true benefits. Please see the conclusion below. Observe sentient beings. Yi Yuan Ping, third. So, this is in Beijing, the second main section. The first main section. Businesses are facing. The world-honored one introduces us to Kitigaba Bodhisattva. Let's get to know Kitigaba Bodhisattva. Getting to know this wise teacher, getting to know this master. So, what about going down? There are 3 categories. This 3 categories is an explanation. Kitigaba Bodhisattva, the beings that he helps. That is to say, who are the beings he teaches? The Buddha has made it very clear and straightforward for us here. Please look scripture. The 20 Buddhas, Mother, Queen Ma with Macron, Y with Macron. With respect, or asking Kitigaba Bodhisattva, the Holy One. Yeah, Buddha and sentient beings. The differences in karma lead to varying consequences. What about the 4th? This is the precept. The birth mother of Shakyamuni Buddha. Ma with Macron, Y with Macron. Queen Ma with Macron, Y with Macron. Birthed Shakyamuni Buddha. This blessing is immense. So then one ascends to the heavenly realm to enjoy the blessings there. In our human world, this isn't a good thing, is it? How is it that after giving birth to the Buddha, just a few days later, his mother passed away? Shakyamuni Buddha was raised by his aunt. His birth mother, after just a day, already wanted to give back. It's only by understanding the true facts that we realize how great the blessings of his mother were from our human perspective. With our ordinary eyes, it seems quite unfortunate, but that thought is completely different. So, world-honored one, this generation is called the flower. It's time to wrap up a section. So those who can accept his teachings have been mentioned earlier. Set up 7 or 8 have already been liberated. This setting has very heavy karmic habits. In Buddhist matters, one mustn't offend. After the Buddha's passing, it brings a heightened sense of awareness to these people. And then these people have disciples of the Buddha, reading to them. The conditions for people to be liberated are different. So after the Buddha's teachings to sentient beings have come to a close, accepting the understanding of the heavenly realm, please invite him to the Peach and Plum Heavenly Palace to give teachings for his mother. This matter, Shakyamuni Buddha cannot decline. Why is that? All Buddhas